It is September 11th, a day where the country is supposed to come together and reflect on the loss of 3,000 American lives. And remember that through all things, we are fundamentally American, right? Now, one way some people do that is to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I remember doing that last in grade school, so I don't necessarily do that. But apparently, President Donald Trump and the First Lady Melania Trump had a little bit of trouble with the pledge, as you're going to see in this next video.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
He tried. He tried. I mean, at least, better than Melania, who didn't try at all. She's just like, nope, forget it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Ain't even going to try. So now, look, longtime viewers of the show, you might remember me having some, be a little bit mixed on the pledge, right? I don't like forced displays of patriotism. Never sat real comfortable with me, right? So, in fact, let me give you the history of the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, the pledge was written in August of 1892 by a socialist named Francis Bellamy. Now, it was originally published in the Youth's Companion on September 8th of 1892. Okay. Bellamy didn't just write it for America. He said, well, I hope everybody would use it, every different country, right? It's not just for America. In its original form, it read, I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. See, for some reason, I just messed it up. That's in its original form. In 1923, they added the flag of the United States of America. And so it's a little bit closer to what it is today. But then in 1954, in response to communism, President Eisenhower encouraged Congress to add the words under God, in which they did. And Bellamy's daughter, by the way, who was alive at the time, decided to be against that alteration. So, interestingly enough as well, the original had you begin with your hand over your heart, right? As you can see, at least Melania and Donald Trump did that. And then after reciting to the flag, your arm would extend towards the flag, palm down. But that looks a little too much Nazi-ish. And so that was changed. Now, none of this has anything to do with really Donald Trump. But I just wanted to give you the history of that, because this is kind of fascinating that now, super right-wing conservative patriots are literally reciting something written by a socialist for every country, not just America. The more you know. It is kind of interesting. Now, as for Trump being a supposed super patriot, and nobody could be as patriotic as I am. I love America more than anybody could ever love America, ever. Okay, well, then if anybody should know the Pledge of Allegiance, it would be Donald Trump, right? Again, he talks about how he loves America. Again, for me, I don't really care about the pledge. It seems rather North Korea-ish for me. And so, that's why I'm I don't think you should, you shouldn't be forced to say it. If you want to say it, that's perfectly fine, right? You shouldn't have to say it. Then again, if you're the president, you should at least know it. It would help. But here's the thing about some of these right-wing people, right? I've always found that people who often and very loudly declare their love for America tend to be the same people who hate significant portions of America, or at least Americans, if they don't look or act a certain way. Those same people, coincidentally, tend to be fans of the president, of Donald Trump. And so, I don't know, how do you really balance out the fact the president doesn't seem to know the words of the pledge, yet claims to be the most patriotic person in the world? I haven't heard any answers. So that said, there's a couple of responses to this that I did enjoy. him not seemingly knowing the words and Melania not even bothering with them is pretty on brand. And they cannot even hide his uncontrollable twitching and swaying. It's almost as if he was bored. Super, super bored. Another person points out, and how come his birther wife doesn't recite either? Isn't she proud to be an American? If this was Michelle Obama or Hillary Clinton, Fox News would run this clip 100 times by lunch, and Tucker would be asking if they were truly Americans if they don't recite some words. Now, maybe it wouldn't be Tucker Carlson, but maybe somebody like Sean Hannity might jump in, especially if the president does something questionable, right? I mean, look, remember the entire right-wing outrage about Obama? Which one, you ask? Well, I mean, there was one about Obama not being an actual American citizen and therefore not actually the president, right? You know, one of the biggest proponents of that conspiracy was Donald Trump. Or who could forget the outrage when Obama dared to salute two Marines with a coffee cup in his hand. You remember this? This was back in 2014. Take a look.
Did you see the latte salute? The president gets off Marine One today. Oh, wait, hang on. Obviously, you've seen it. I mean, how would President Bush ever do that?
Yeah, are we surprised? I mean, after all, we got a chai swilling, golf playing, basketball trash talking, leading from behind. I got no strategy. Osama bin Laden is dead. GM is alive. A community organizing commander-in-chief. How disrespectful was that?
I was shocked.
Insensitive. Look.
You can't stop and salute the brave men and women?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yes, Hannity. What is that? I mean, you can't even say the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, what is that? What is that? Oh, you were talking about Obama. Gee, I wonder if you're going to talk about Donald Trump at all. Oh, you know what? My guess, of course, is he'll attack the media, as always, for attacking Donald Trump. And, for Trump seemingly not knowing the words of the Pledge of Allegiance and getting super, super bored. There is one more Hannity clip, by the way, in that segment alone that I just want to show you because, well, it's even more interesting. Take a look.
Listen, Carl, when he said in a speech, and he was reading his teleprompter, Navy corpsman, again and again and again. This is how little he knows about the military. He said Navy corpsman, Navy corpsman, Navy corpsman. He doesn't know what a corpsman is. This is a little frightening now that this guy is rejecting out of hand the advice of our top military brass, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, former defense secretaries now that have come out and spoken out against him. It's a little bit frightening.
Oh, it's a little bit frightening when the president ignores the military, ignores the generals and the Joint Chiefs. If only, Obama had listened to them. Man, it'd be a terrible thing if we had a president that didn't listen to the military and, called them pussies, and, said the soldiers who died in wars are, losers and suckers. Man, that just would be a terrible thing, wouldn't it?